When Daniel Harper pulled into the driveway of his secluded cabin in the rolling hills of northern Georgia, he expected the usual: the hum of cicadas, the scent of pine, and the kind of quiet that made his soul settle. It was late September, the sky a bruised purple, and he'd just spent a week in Atlanta finalizing a contract for his custom furniture business. All he wanted was a cold beer and his porch swing. But as his truck's headlights swept across the yard, something was wrong. Orange plastic stakes dotted the grass like warning flags, and a wooden sign stood bold as brass in the center of his lawn. Future site of Willow Creek Community Pavilion, Spring 2026. Daniel slammed on the brakes, his heart thudding. He stepped out, boots crunching on gravel, and read the sign again, half expecting it to vanish like a bad dream. It didn't. Tucked in his mailbox was an envelope, no stamp, just his name scrawled in Sharpie. Inside, a letter on crisp letterhead from the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. It claimed his half-acre lot had been designated for community enhancement, and that his cabin, his hand-built retreat, was slated for demolition to make way for a pavilion. He had 10 days to vacate. His blood boiled. Daniel had chosen this plot 15 years ago precisely because it was outside the HOA's reach. He checked the county records, hired a surveyor, and made damn sure his land was free from their meddling. Willow Creek's gated mansion stopped 3 lots over. This wasn't a mistake. It was an invasion. He drove to the edge of his property, where the HOA's manicured lawns glowed under floodlights. A neighbor, Old Man Carl, sat on his porch with a whiskey glass, watching. "They've been sniffing around all week," Carl said, raising his drink. "Said your land's being reallocated." Linda's idea. Linda Grayson, the HOA president, was the kind of woman who smiled while twisting the knife. Daniel dialed the number on the letter, got her voicemail, and left a message sharp enough to cut glass. Then he walked his property, counting stakes, noting spray-painted lines slicing through his wildflower garden. By midnight, he was at his kitchen table, deed and map spread out, fury keeping sleep at bay. They'd picked the wrong man to mess with. The next morning, Linda answered his call with a voice like sweetened venom. "Mr. Harper, we've voted. Your lot is perfect for a community space central, underused. We've even found you a replacement lot near the entrance." Daniel laughed, cold. "You mean the swampy patch by the recycling bins? My land's not yours to vote on." Linda sighed, patronizing. "There's a clerical error in the original zoning. Your lot should have been part of Willow Creek. We're fixing it." He hung up, already dialing his lawyer, Sarah Coleman. Sarah was livid. "This is theft dressed in bureaucracy. I'll draft a cease and desist by noon." Daniel spent the day reinforcing his defenses: new no trespassing signs, motion lights, and a call to the sheriff's office. But the HOA didn't wait. At dawn, a construction crew rolled in bulldozers, rebar, and Linda in a pristine blazer, directing like a general. "This is approved," she told the foreman, waving a permit Daniel knew was fake. He stepped onto his porch, phone recording. "You're on private property. Leave, or I'm calling the law." Linda smirked. "We've updated the county plat. Your land's ours now." She handed him a map, his cabin erased, replaced by a pavilion and picnic tables. Daniel's vision tunneled. "You forged this." She shrugged. "Progress, Mr. Harper." He called the sheriff, and Deputy Malone arrived, stone-faced, ordering the crew to stand down. Linda blustered, but the workers, sensing trouble, packed up. Daniel photographed the damage-torn earth, uprooted fences, and sent it to Sarah. "They're escalating," she said. "We're going to the county." At the Forsyth County Records Office, Daniel uncovered the truth. A new plat, filed 3 days ago, falsely placed his land in Willow Creek's boundaries. The submission came from a community liaison named Roger Tate, with a signature from a deputy registrar, Ellen Price. But Ellen wasn't there. A new clerk, Tom Reed, recognized Daniel from a furniture project years back. "This stinks," Tom said, pulling the file. "The signature's recycled from an old form. It's fraud." He flagged the audit plan, freezing all changes. Daniel left with a printout tracing the filing to an HOA computer. Sarah was ecstatic. "This is criminal. We're filing for an injunction." The HOA fought dirty. A Facebook group, Willow Creek Unity, posted Daniel's photo from a long-forgotten block party, branding him a selfish loner blocking progress. His trash wasn't picked up. A delivery of rare walnut planks arrived splintered. Flyers appeared, glossy and vicious, calling him a holdout against community good. But Daniel wasn't alone. Carl tipped him off about HOA meetings, and Sarah dug into their finances. What she found was a bombshell: $90,000 drained from HOA reserves, funneled to fake companies tied to Linda's cousin. The pavilion wasn't just a land grab, it was a front for a private event business, with profits slated for Linda's pocket. Daniel set a trap. He left his gate open, cameras hidden, and waited. Sure enough, Linda returned with a cement truck and a crew, ready to pour a foundation. Sarah's friend, a notary named Mike, and a local reporter, Jenna, recorded everything. As Linda pointed to where Daniel's garden once stood, he stepped forward. "You're trespassing. This is being reported as a felony." Linda faltered, spotting the cameras. Deputy Malone pulled up, and the crew shut down. Linda's face twisted as she was cuffed for trespassing and vandalism. "This is for the community," she shrieked. Daniel picked up a stray paver and set it on his porch. "Not your community," he said. The fallout was swift. Sarah's lawsuit exposed Linda's scheme: forged plats, embezzlement, and a plan to rent out the pavilion for weddings while HOA dues covered maintenance. Board members turned on each other. One, Greg Walsh, spilled every thinjamails where Linda bullied him into signing budgets without review. The county launched a probe, uncovering 4 other parcels fraudulently claimed by Linda. A planning official, Carl Benton, was sacked for rubber stamping her filings. Linda faced 12 years in prison for fraud, theft, and intimidation after trying to pressure residents to drop complaints. The HOA was dissolved, its assets seized to pay fines, and Daniel's $200,000 in damages. By spring, Daniel's land was his again. He rebuilt his garden, restored his fence, and poured a concrete pad for a new workshop, sleek, cedar-clad, with a view of the hills. He called it his pavilion, a quiet jab at Linda's folly. A sign on the door read, "Private property. No HOAs, no schemes, no Lindas." Designed by D. Harper, owner. His furniture business boomed, new clients drawn to his story of defiance. One evening, a former crew member stopped by, asking Daniel to design a cabin. "Didn't know she was a crook," the man said. Daniel handed him a card. "Live and learn." The Willow Creek scandal faded, but its lesson didn't. Daniel won because he fought not with fists, but with proof, patience, and the law. Sitting on his porch, beer in hand, he looked at the hills and felt the weight lift. They'd tried to erase him. They failed. What do you think? Have you ever faced injustice or bullying in your community? Was it worth fighting back, or did you walk away? Share your thoughts below. Let's talk about standing up to power and where you draw the line.